Welcome to the Doghouse. I'm Jeff Davis.
And I'm Fred Williams.
We are all things dog related. Fred and I own the Doghouse Pet Salon here in Houston. We have 3 locations. We do boarding, grooming, daycare, and we see thousands of dogs a month. We put this together so that we could talk about things that we see every day through veterinarian questions or just general grooming questions. People ask us different things for different kinds of reasons all the time. In 2009, we started the Doghouse Pet Salon, and a few years after that, we realized that there was an issue that we needed to solve. In thinking about the things that make our business run smoother and problems that pet owners have, we realized that most people that have an animal of any kind, really, that requires vaccinating, don't have vaccination records. When you check into any kind of grooming or daycare or training facility, they're going to require you to have vaccination records. So when you go to the veterinarian gives you a receipt or sends you an email with the updates or gives you some kind of a portal. You don't need any of that. It's the people that do business with you for your pet are the ones that need that. So we put together a system called My Pet Credentials.
And with that said, we'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, My Pet Credentials.
My Pet Credentials strives to identify every single lost pet. We will continue to develop and think of creative ideas to identify every single pet on the face of the earth, just like we can identify every single human being. Each pet you register at www.mypetcredentials.com is assigned an MPC security number. This number is formatted just like the human social security number with 9 characters, using letters and numbers. Letters are always lowercase. If your pet is ever lost and found by a stranger, the Good Samaritan can identify your pet and contact you by going to www.mpclost.com. At My Pet Credentials, we are pet lovers, just like you.
Hey, Jeff, thanks a lot for all that great information. One of the other things, and the most important things that Jeff and I came across over the years is not only people coming to our facility without proper vaccination records or things like that, but there's this huge problem in the industry with lost pets and identifying lost pets. We probably receive 1, maybe 2 a week, a lost dog, a lost cat. Maybe it has a microchip, maybe it doesn't have a microchip. Mm-hmm. And we came together and said, hey, we've got to figure out a way to identify every single pet that comes to the door, whether it's a pet that is microchipped already or a pet that has a microchip that is not registered or it has a name tag. So we bounced ideas off of each other for a couple of years, trying to come up with the best solution, the best tech solution to at least identify 50% of the lost pet population.
Right. Yeah. You said microchips. Microchips, crazy enough, microchips only work 40% of the time because people typically don't register those microchips. Even if we microchip a dog who's at a rescue, if the people aren't keeping track of who's tracking that microchip, it's useless. So part of what we did was create My Pet Credentials, and when we originally put it together, it was built for us to be better servicing to our customers. In other words, when you come in and your vaccination record is expired, we should already have that. Most people think we already do, but that's not magical. It doesn't just come from the veterinarian, right? So when we put the profiles together for when you go into this system and you put your information and your dog's information, we thought, well, this is where we can put every single dog's information, microchips and otherwise, identifiers, to create the biggest and most robust lost and found database ever. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And this podcast gives us a great platform to talk about a lot of different things, from lost and found to what's the best groom for my dog during the summer. But let me just give you an example of some of the lost and found techniques that we've come up with over the years. And we're still expanding those techniques as well, and reaching out to the public and you guys yourselves to say, hey, here's an idea for you guys. And we're going to capitalize on that and see if we can create that as well,
right.
If it can fit into our platform. So here's an example. Let's say a pet is lost. It comes into our shop. it has a microchip, but it's not registered. Right. Normally that's the end of the road, right? We can go on Google and say, hey, this microchip was issued by this company. But when you call that company, it's not registered, or
it's registered to the vet who bought the microchip
registered
originally.
to the vet, or the phone number's outdated, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Our platform takes it a step further. If a pet's not registered, you can register the pet as a Good Samaritan for free into our system. You already have the dog in your possession. You know the microchip number. You can register that dog. And what that does is it gives the owner the ability to say, wow, my dog had a microchip and my dog's lost. And they can go to a website, mpclost.com, and they can put in that microchip number that they know their dog had at the time it was lost.
I mean, my dog had a microchip and I didn't even know it.
Right. And once that happens, it pulls up a profile that says, hey, your dog is being held by either this shelter or contact the Good Samaritan.
Right.
So there's a reverse way that we do it with microchips that I think is pretty cool. And it's better to show this on a screen rather than talk about it.
Right.
But there's many, many different ways, such as just putting a dog's name into the system, Jeff.
Well, even like take rescue organizations, for example. When they adopt a dog out, typically they don't know the history of that dog.
Right.
Even a rescue can create a profile and put their dogs in the system so that for free. So when the owner adopts that dog, they just transfer the dog to their profile and it's all set up. So the owner would go and buy a collar. We sell a collar that goes with their profile, and they can take a picture of the QR code that's on a collar, and it identifies that dog. And if somebody finds it, or if it's if he's lost or what have you, or even if it's somebody just wants to see the vaccination records, they can click that QR code and pull up their profile and show all of their vaccination records, pictures of the dog, where it's been. All that stuff would be transferable to every owner that ever had the dog. So it would be, again, all in one place.
Yeah, and that's called transfer of ownership. Right. That's a functionality that we have in the app, which is a great functionality. And see, Jeff and I are right here just talking about different things that our app does, and we haven't shown the public any of this yet.
Right.
But we're going to be breaking this down into segments from our sponsor, how this functionality works. What if I lost my dog with a name tag? How do I retrieve that dog back? Right. How do I register my dog to keep my dog safe? What's the cost of that? Many different things. What's the best flea shampoo if my dog has fleas, things of that nature. We're excited about all this. Obviously, Jeff and I put a lot of time into not only building our business, the Doghouse Pet Salon, but building a great platform called My Pet Credentials for everybody to use. Dog owners, cat owners, horse owners, right, and things of that nature. Right. So,
yeah, I mean, we'll cover a lot of topics, that dog owners, like I said before, want and need to know. Everything from what are those vaccinations? What are the regular vaccinations? What do those vaccinate against? Right. What coverages are there? What is dematting, and why do I have to pay for dematting right every time a dog gets groomed is because you're not brushing it right? Mm-hmm. Or, all the things that we see and hear, every day, everything from, nail clipping and why can't they be shorter, and all the questions that we get on the daily basis. Do
I need a 6-month Bordetella, or do I need a 1-year Bordetella?
And what's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference?
So we'll cover all those, and we'll have some guests on. We'll have some veterinarians and some other people in the industry throughout some of these episodes, so that we can ask them the questions that are important, and you can also chime in and ask the questions that you want to hear back too.
And my wife Donna Williams, who's not here right now, who's also our business partner. She owns a rescue. It's called Donna's Love Pet Rescue. Mm-hmm. She'll be on here next time. We'll ask her some questions about, how she got started. She's an excellent person in the industry. She's an avid dog lover. She rescues a ton of dogs, ships them all across the country. So she'll be on here as well, which is going to be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. She's a delight to talk to and a wealth of knowledge. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, hey guys, look, thanks for taking the time to tune in today. We really appreciate it. As always, your suggestions and comments are welcomed. Please like and subscribe to our channel.
Yep. Look in our bio for an Instagram and LinkedIn. There's a link there that you can ask questions. Please do get engaged and ask the questions. We're happy to respond to every single one of them. We appreciate it.
Any question, Whether you have a question about your veterinarian, your dog, your cat, whatever it may be, please ask any question. We look forward to answering all your questions. As always, remember, if you're in any kind of trouble, we'll see you in the doghouse.